Hello, I'm Ollie, and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, a bit of a random mix. I've got a bag of books down from the attic to go through with you. So this is the continuation of my ongoing library tour. We are definitely getting towards the end now. A teaser for things coming in weeks ahead, though. So I did get down my box of 87th Precinct books by Ed McBain today as well, just to go through it and see what gaps I've got. Because whilst I've read all of them, there are a few that either I haven't got physical copies of, or I've only got them in omnibuses and things like that. So I made a list of the ones I didn't have, which was 5, and I've just gone on eBay and found cheap paperback copies of all of those, which I've ordered. So either next week or maybe the week after, I will be doing an 87th Precinct library tour of all of my 87th Precinct books. So look out for that one if you're an Ed McBain fan. So in terms of what I've got today, it really is a bit of a random mix of stuff, and some of it is shit, to be honest with you. There's a lot of books in here that I'm shaking my head at myself and trying to figure out why I've got them. So anyway, we will go through them, and hopefully I don't offend anyone with that statement when you see what the books are. So yes, let's go through them. So firstly, I've got a few kind of kids or YA books in here. I did go through a weird phase of buying YA stuff a while ago, and I don't know why, because I don't really enjoy it, and that's probably true for a lot of books in this. There's not a huge number of books to go through in this bag, I would say. So I have got A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which is supposed to be a fantastic book, and I have to say I saw the movie and I thought that was excellent. So I'm interested to read this, because the movie was deeply deeply moving and very effective. So yeah, that one by him, and it's how long is it? It's like 250 pages, and the pages are, have got hardly any text on them at all. The spacing is off the charts. So yeah, that probably won't take me very long to read. And then I've also got the second 2 books in his Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. So I read the first one, which in the UK is called The Northern Lights, and in the States is called, what's it called? Something else. I can't remember what it's called in the States. And I really liked it, and then I started reading this one and I couldn't get into it at all. I just couldn't get on with it. So I suspect I will never read these, and I've also got all 3 of them on my Kindle as well. So I'll probably unhaul these at some point. And then more YA. So I've also got books 2 and 3 in the what's it called? Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series by Ranson. So I read the first one and I did enjoy it, and they are nice books as well in terms of the the presentation of them. So they've got these lovely old photos of strange things, which I think are all genuine old photos rather than modern ones that have been mocked up. So I liked the first one. I liked the movie a lot. So my son watched the movie with my son when it came out at the cinema. We both really enjoyed it. So I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan, but I did think that was a fun film, and the skeleton, the kind of homage to Ray Harryhausen at the end with all the skeletons and stuff was brilliant fun. So yes, will I ever read these? Probably not. So I should probably unhaul those as well. Okay, next up is, I think I've got 2. Yes, I have 2 books by this author, so let's go through both of those. So these are by Carlos Ruiz Zafon. So I read his book, The Shadow of the Wind, pretty much when it came out, I think, and I really, really loved it. I absolutely adored it. I haven't reread it since, so I don't know if that love of it will hold up, but I have picked up these 2. I'm not sure if they're sequels to that first book or not, and I'm not sure if I've got that first book either. I think I might have it on my Kindle, so maybe I need to reread that and then read these 2. Anyway, they are The Angel's Game and The Watcher in the Shadows. So yeah, I should definitely try those at some point. Right, now we get on to some more absolute stinkers. So I've got 2 books by Dan Brown. So I've got Origin and The Lost Symbol. So I don't know why. A while ago I decided I needed to buy all of Dan Brown's books. I don't know why. I've read and quite enjoyed like his early stuff, like what are the ones that came out before the Da Vinci Code. So I read the Da Vinci Code when it came out, and I thought it was fun, but pretty throwaway. And I've also read I can't remember what any of them were called, but he wrote 3 books before the Da Vinci Code, and I've read those. I haven't read Angels and Demons by him. I've tried to read it a number of times and never managed to finish it. But anyway, I bought these 2, and I think I've got some on my Kindle as well. And I've just noticed that this one has got a pin in it. So I obviously bought this second hand, and for some reason someone stuck a pin through some of the pages, which seems very strange. Maybe it's some sort of weird symbolic code. Who knows? Maybe every copy of the Lost Symbol came with a pin in it. So yeah, I probably should unhaul those because I probably never read those. And now another author who I randomly decided I needed to buy as many books as I could find by. And I've got a number of his books on my Kindle as well. I've read one of them and it was terrible. I got approved for one of his books on NetGalley. I can't even remember what it was called, and I read it, and it was really shit. It was really shit. But I've got 4 more of his in paperback. This is Chris Carter, not the Chris Carter who created the X-Files, a different Chris Carter. So we've got Gallery of the Dead, The Night Stalker, The Caller, and The Executioner. So these are books about this guy called, what's his name? Robert Hunter, who is a like FBI super guy who hunts serial killers. The books are just, they're so light. They're very much like the James Patterson and books in the fact that it feels like they are literally only designed to be read quickly. They're not designed to have any sort of depth or logic or anything like that to them at all. They're literally designed just to keep you reading. So I don't know. I need to try another one at some point because lots of people love them. I need to try another one at some point and see if it's as terrible as the one I read was. Especially as I seem to have lots of them stacking up. Right, another one. So this is an excellent book. So I did review this on the channel. So I did a double header review of this and 5 Decembers by James Kestrel quite early on in the life of the channel. So this is The 20-Year Death by Ariel S Winter, which is 3 novels with some continuing characters between them, but not many, which are set over the course of 20 years, so effectively like three decades covering, and each is written in the style of a different author. So there's a kind of a continuing storyline, not a strong one necessarily, but kind of. So I'm trying to remember what the books were called and what the... So the first one, then, here we go. So the first one is Malvino Prison, which is written in the style of Georges Simenon. The second one is, so that's set in 1931. The second one, which is set in 1941, is annoying. It doesn't tell you on the back what it's called. So I'm having to flip through to find the start of it, is The Falling Star, which is set in Hollywood and is kind of a Chandler-esque mystery. And then the final one is set in 1951, and this is in the style of Jim Thompson. And that is nearly there, just flipping back through it. That is called Police at the Funeral. So these are, it's a really interesting experiment, and he does a good job of like aping the styles of those 3 authors, all of whom are authors I really like. Does it completely succeed in a book of as its own right, given that it's basically a pastiche? Kind of. I did think the story he tells is really interesting, and he does do it quite well, but it wasn't, I don't think it was quite as clever as he thought it was. But yeah, an interesting read. And then the final one is another kind of omnibus thing. So this is by Stephen Donaldson, who's best known for the Thomas Covenant books and also his series of sci-fi novels, which I can't remember what they're called, the Rift Saga or something like that. So this is 3 crime novels by him. I'm not sure where they stand in his kind of career, if you see what I mean. So the first one was written in 1980, second one in 84, and the third one in 90. So what's that? So that's certainly is after the first Thomas Covenant book, I believe. So after he'd established himself as a fantasy writer, and they were written under the pseudonym of Reed Stevens. So anyway, the books are The Man Who Risked His Partner, The Man Who Killed His Brother, and The Man Who Tried to Get Away. So I don't really know anything about these, but I quite like the idea. So I will give those a try at some point as well. So yeah, that's this this section of my library tour done. So a bit of a random mix there of crap and maybe some better things as well. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you're a huge fan of Chris Carter or Dan Brown and have now unsubscribed from my channel in rage at my dissing of your favourite authors. I think that I think they're fine. I think they write books which are pure entertainment, but little more than that, shall we say? They're the literary equivalent of a it's terrible. I've forgotten his name now. Who's that director? He makes terrible blockbuster films. He made Armageddon and other films that I now can't remember the name of. He did one for Netflix recently. Come on, help me out, people. God, I'll put his name up as a title thing because I can't remember it at all now. But he's terrible but kind of fun. He made Pearl Harbor as well. I'll keep remembering his and Bad Boys and The Rock, which I actually really like, but I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'll stop talking bollocks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're safe and well. I hope you're reading good stuff, and I will speak to you again very soon. Cheerio. It was Michael Bay. Cheers.